Greatest fear you face is yourself. We all have dreams, and it's very scary because you're afraid that if you put your heart and soul into it and you fail, then how are you going to feel about yourself? So being fearless means putting yourself out there. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
When I was a 5-year-old, I remember having a poster in my wall. The person that was in that poster was Michael Jordan. I didn't really think much about it until a couple years ago when I had to do a psychology research project for my university regarding psychological factors and mindset and how these affect sport performance. And part of my research was studying about how Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant became not only the richest and most famous sportsmen in history, but also dominated in their competitions for multiple years, reaching levels of performance unachievable for other players in the same division. For example, Kobe explained that his daily routine was the following one. Wake up at 3 a.m. Work from 4 to 6. Rest. Work from 9 to 11. Rest. Work from 2 to 4. Rest. And work from 7 to 9.
So if you get up at 10 in the morning, train at 11, right? 12, say 12, train at 12, train for 2 hours, 12 to 2. You have to let your body recover. So you eat, recover, whatever. You get back out, you train, start training again at 6. Train from 6 to 8, right? And now you go home, you shower, you eat dinner, you go to bed, you wake up, you do it again, right? Those are 2 sessions. Right? Now imagine you wake up at 3, you train at 4. You go 4 to 6, come home, breakfast, relax, blah, blah, blah. Now you're back at it again, 9 to 11, right? You relax, and now all of a sudden you're back at it again, 2 to 4, and now you're back at it again, 7 to 9. Look how much more training I have done by simply starting at 4.
Did you know that Michael Jordan, with his trainer Tim Grover, was one of the first basketball players to incorporate weightlifting exercise to improve their performance during his matches? Did you know that during the 80s it was believed that basketball players that had large muscles would be bothered when shooting and jumping and they would perform worse? Still, Michael Jordan was sick and tired of other basketball players beating him at throwing power and distance. So him and his trainer developed a weight training routine focused on upper body that would allow him to get incredible results in the basketball court. It was really thanks to him and his trainer that weightlifting exercise started to spread among other future basketball players in the 90s and moving forward, like Kobe and many others. You might have noticed that I moved really quick to the last point, and there is a reason for that. The reason why I spent less time in those points is because, contrary to popular belief, the biggest factors are not just training and having good genetics. What truly separated Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan from everyone else was their uncommon, relentless mindset. To go deeper in my investigation, I decided to read the book Relentless, where Kobe and Michael personal trainer Tim Grover explains in deep detail how did he work with them and what made them different from the rest of the NBA players. He described when he started working with Michael that he never saw obstacles and walls. Instead, he only saw them as situations that needed to be solved. He explained that he never met someone like Michael before, because there was a hunger in him that the other players didn't have. For Michael, the concept of something being good enough didn't exist. He always wanted more and was willing to do anything to get it. He had that relentless mentality. Funny enough, when Michael Jordan won his second ring, he raised 3 fingers because he was signifying to everyone else that he was going to win the third the next year. And the same next day, he was already calling Tim Grover to start training for the next tournament. Tim Grover insists that becoming a top-tier athlete has nothing to do with talent, because again, the NBA was full of talented people and not everyone reached the same level, but instead other factors like taking self-responsibility and, most important, never giving up, no matter how many times you fail.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
The athletes that manage to reach this level of self-demand and obsession end up developing a darker side, one that has no mercy and cares not about what the price is to reach the goal they propose to achieve.
One of the things I tell young men, well, and young women as well, but the young men really need to hear this more, I think, is that you should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
Tim Grover also mentions that you cannot train your body to the highest level unless you train your mind first. And this point was reflected in my investigation, because part of my study was evaluating the levels of stress and sport performance. And the biggest factor wasn't if the athletes had stress or not. The biggest factor that improved sport performance was if the athletes had good resilience regarding stress or not. Physical mastery may make you great, but in the long run, mental mastery is what will make you unstoppable. Tim Grover described his work like cleaning the bindings and dirt that exist within the player in order to bring out the talent inside of him. And that's something that really resonates with myself as a psychologist, because I find my profession to be something similar to that. But answering the question of the video about what I learned studying Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and also reading the book Relentless, I got an answer that it was not much about the psychological and routine techniques that they used, since most of them I was already accustomed to them, because, for example, one of the mindfulness or the zone, entering the zone techniques that they use, they are quite similar and they are already used in other kind of treatments, like helping people with concentration disorders or with stress disorders. Excluding the data that I got from my investigation, what I personally learned was something that I already knew, but I forgot along the way. No trainer can make you excellent or even the best if you are not willing to work for it, if you are not willing to give up whatever is necessary to make it happen. The only person that can make your dreams come true is yourself.
If you do the work, you work hard enough, dreams come true. You know that, we all know that. But hopefully what you get from tonight is the understanding that those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream.
So, if you're looking for a motivation boost and going back to a goal-oriented mentality, I really recommend you to grab this book. Because trust me, everything explained here goes further than just the basketball court.